Today's tutorial is getting you guys set up with the Azure Databricks. Let's get into it. First, search Azure login, and then click on the first link, and then click on Try Azure for free. And then I recommend you create one account, one Microsoft account using your .usc.edu email, because you not only get the $200 credit, you also get another 100 credits because you are using a .edu email. So which means you're a student. All right, let's create one. And I'm gonna just skip this, and then later on you will be prompted to put in your credit card, but you won't be charged. So as you created your account, we are going to create the Databricks for you. Okay, so on the search bar, search resource groups. It looks like this, and click into it. Ignore these are the resource groups that I've created already, so yours should be blank right here. And click on the create, and just choose the only subscription that you have. And for the region, I recommend you to choose West US 2 or 3, or maybe just West US, and then give it a name. And then click on review and create. If you're using other languages, just click next and create. It will do the same thing. All right, as you can see, my resource group is getting created, so that you would click into it. So the resource group works like a folder. It contains all your resources for one project or whatever you want to put into a folder. And then click on within the resource group, click on create, and then right here you should search Databricks. Right here, as you can see, hit on create and Azure Databricks. All right, right here, you're going to choose a resource group that you just created. And then for the workspace name, you can just give it a random name as you wish. I'll call it Databricks presentation. And then for the region, I highly recommend you choose the same region as your resource group. And then for the pricing tier, you can choose standard, premium, or trial. It's up to you. So for this time, I would choose trial. And then if you are using other language, as I just said, just click on next and next and create. It would do the same thing. And then, but right here, I'm just gonna click review and create. And after it says validation succeeded, you can click on create. And it would normally take a while for you to deploy it because it's a cloud, and then it needs its VM to do their stuff. So within 10 minutes of waiting is pretty much expected. So right here, as you can see, our Databricks is active right now. If you don't know how to get to this, just click home or Microsoft Azure, click this, and then you go to the home page. And then in the recent resources, you see the Databricks that you just created. Click into it, and then as you can see, it's active right now. And then you can launch the workspace. It will prompt you to sign in. Just click on the account that you just created. And then right here, you see a blank welcome space. What you want to do is you want to click into the workspace, and then in the workspace, click the workspace folder, and then create one folder called tutorial. It will contain all the tutorial codes that you will be writing or copying, and another folder called data. So within the tutorial, click on the tutorial and hit create new notebook, and then you should see a notebook like interface that's similar to the Google Colab. And go to the your Brightspace resource with project with cloud technology, and then as you can see here, there's a connecting to data lake and save data on your Databricks. These are your tutorials. All right, let me open those. Okay, as you open it, you can see it's a HTML file, and then you can just starting from the connecting to data lake, and then you're going to copy paste the code that I was writing there to test your connection with the database. Oops, seems like we didn't create any clusters or computing resource, because this Databricks is like a software, and then it has to be run on a hardware, right? Just similar to your computer, if you want to run a software, you must have a computer, right? But we didn't create a computer, so that's the problem. So right now, we are going to create a hardware computer for it. Right now, go to compute, and then create compute. And for this purposes, we are going to use the personal compute. All right, and you don't have to change a lot of things. Just put the runtime into 16.2 Scala, and then the node type is the weakest node, of course, and then the termination after we're gonna put it for 15 minutes. So whenever you are not working with it and then you forgot to turn it off, right, it will automatically turn it off for you after 15 minutes of inactivity. All right, let's create compute. And the waiting here is pretty much expected within 20 minutes. All right, let's see you later. Right now, our cluster is currently running. And then you should see a green dot right here. It says cluster running. And then go back to a workspace. I've already copy pasted all the codes from these two HTML files to my Databricks. And first, connection to the database, and then we just gonna run them all and see if we can successfully run them all, and then print out data. Yep, as you can see, we can successfully display the chart events DF from the demo database, which is pretty cool. And below it, we can also convert it to a pandas data frame, which you guys are very familiar with. And for the saving data, we can actually save the data as a file into our data folder that we just created. So here is the tutorial of how do we do that. So here, what I did was that I set it up the connection, and then I connected to the database using this one line of code, and then I assign the chart events df uh, to the data that I've just read, um, and then I converted the chart event df into a pandas data frame, and then I filtered. I did a sample filtered on the chart event, and then if I want to save my records, I can just do it by to CSV, and then with a path to the folder. All right, let's see. So these are finished. Let's go and check out the data folder. As you can see, here's my chart events over here. And then you can download it, you can modify it, you can update it, whatever you want to do with it. And it's your data now. But please remember, you cannot, and you don't have the permission to change any of the files that's raw that you've read from my database. All right, so you don't have the update, delete, or anything that can change the file here. You cannot do it. All right, just remember this. And then if you want to change it, if you want to add something, if you want to filter something, if you want to group by something, you are going to save it to your end, which is in the data folder in this case, and then you do some transformation on it. All right, and that concludes the tutorial of how to set up your Databricks, and have fun with the project.